And welcome to the Aaron Katsman Show. I'm your host, Aaron Katsman. We speak to your life, your money, and your investments. And as always, we're coming to you from the spiritual and soon-to-be financial capital of the world, Jerusalem, Israel. If you like this content, please hit the like button below. If you've not yet done so, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to both the YouTube channel and to the podcast. And if you think somebody might find this of interest, why don't you go ahead and click the share button and you can share it with them as well. So earlier this week, I spoke with somebody who actually took super early retirement. He goes, I made enough money and I wanted to dedicate my life to philanthropy, helping people out. I just wanted to get out of the rat race. I didn't want to work anymore. And it's not that he made an exit in high tech. He did it the old fashioned way. Believe it or not, he had a ready 9-to-5 job, family. I mean, it was a good job. He made money, right? And he got bonuses, but he saved and he invested and he retired in his early 50s and has dedicated his life to helping others ever since. My feeds are just full of people who are pro the FIRE movement, right? Which is financial independence, retire early. I've spoken about it before. I'm not such a big fan. I'm all about financial independence. The retirement early is usually something I don't like because I think that most people who do it are not productive. And we're put on this land in this world to be productive and to help people. So in general, I'm not too thrilled with it. But in the case of this person that I spoke to earlier, I was really, really impressed and somebody who really made success out of it. Fascinating enough, afterwards, I came upon a new article from a new writer. His name is Darius Foreau, and he writes about finance and other financial topics. And he has an article called Your Life Matters, Even If You're Not Famous. I'm going to read some of it. It goes, you sit down somewhere quiet, maybe in a coffee shop, maybe in your couch after a long day, and out of nowhere, a thought hits you. Why am I not more successful? Maybe you thought you'd have kids by now, or a business that prints money, or a name people actually recognize. Maybe you thought you'd own a house and that you'd have it all figured out, but none of that happened. So you start comparing. This guy was a millionaire by 30. She had a bestseller by 26. He's a CEO at 40. She retired at 48. So what? He asks. They're not you, but it still stings, right? Why not me? I've been there more times than I can count, and every time I notice the same thing. The comparison never came from inside me. It came from looking outside. There's a trap most of us walk into. We've gotten more materialistic and more externally focused every year. It's not new. We've been doing this for a long time, but it's getting worse. You might think it matters what your friends think of you, or that strangers look you and think, wow, that's a successful person. But here's the truth. Those people will not be there for you in 10 or 20 years. They care about themselves. That's just normal human behavior. So why are you organizing your life around their applause? And he goes on and on and on and talks about, he concludes, your life doesn't need an audience to count. It never did. The point was never to be seen. The point is to be useful to the people in front of you and do the work you'd respect, even if nobody ever knew your name. Do that and your life matters quietly, but completely. You don't need the world to agree. And I think that's where the problem lies. The world agreeing. Likes. We need likes, right? If you don't share your life on social media and get lots and lots of likes, it's like a tree fell in the forest. Did anybody hear it fall? It's the same thing. You did something in life and nobody liked it. Does it count? Or your feed is full of people taking glamorous vacations. I know people like that. I'm at an interesting intersection because I also manage money for people and a financial advisor, do financial planning. So I actually know what a lot of people have, and I see their feeds on social media. And what might seem glorious to you leaves me scratching my head and waiting for them to call me and say, you know what? Can you transfer some money to my bank account because we overspent on a vacation? I'm like, really? You're kidding me. I never knew. It happens all the time because people put their stuff, right? If it doesn't go on Instagram, if it doesn't go on, Facebook or whatever, TikTok, it's like that tree in the forest. It doesn't really happen. And everybody's got to show off. And then you look at this and like, oh my God, look, they went to here and they did this and they go out to dinner and da, 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 da. What did I do? You know what? Who cares what they're doing? Stop comparing yourself to them. I speak about this all the time, keeping up with the Joneses, right? We end up many people get themselves into financial trouble because just that. They're slaves to their social media. And they see everybody's going and doing this. Well, we better do it also. Well, we don't have any money. Well, we're going to do it anyway because we have to do that because everybody else is doing it. Everybody else is going to the Maldives or the Seychelles or I don't know where. So, if you can't afford it, go to Montenegro. Not speaking from personal experience. It's not like I was just in Montenegro. But I'm just saying, you can do things and create memories, real lasting memories for you and your family, not a like. Nobody's going to remember your post. Who cares? He gives 4 tips. He goes, how do you put down the famous or failure ruler? He goes, here's what worked for me. Number 1, name your real audience. List the people your life generally touches. Family, close friends, the people you work with, the handful of readers, clients, or customers you actually serve. That short list is your real audience. The faceless crowd you imagine watching and judging you doesn't exist. Interesting. Number 2, measure contribution, not attention. At the end of the day, don't ask who noticed you. Ask one question and said, did I help anyone today, even in a small way? A good conversation counts. Honest work counts. Showing up for someone counts. Not the like. It's not about getting the like. It's about helping society. Okay, that's me. Number 3, do the work nobody claps for. The boring, invisible work is usually the work that matters most. Raising a kid well, doing your job properly, being the friend who picks up the phone. Nobody hands you applause for it, but your work matters more than anything you do for show. There's a person in my synagogue who is the epitome of this. He does nothing in public, but I will catch him here. I will catch him in the synagogue during off hours. It might be changing a light bulb, filling up the toilet paper, might be cleaning the path to the hall. All kinds of things which get zero attention, but without them, the synagogue experience would be much, much worse. Nobody's clapping for him. Nobody even knows he does it except for maybe 2 or 3 people. But it's incredibly important. And that's what we're here for. Finally, get off the comparison feed. This is the main point, right? Social media is a machine for making your real life feel small next to other people's highlights. When the scrolling starts whispering that you don't matter, that's not insight. That's the machine working. Use it less. I can't tell you how much I agree with that. To put away the phone. Stop comparing yourself to others on social media because, as I have mentioned, it's not always the truth. The glamour behind the scene, it's just not what it appears. Okay? And people have such a hard time with it. You see it. People, oh my God, I saw that this person did this on social media. We've got to do it. No, you don't. You just don't have to do it. And when you segue this, when you turn this into financially, right? That's when all the trouble starts. When you start trying, as I've said, to keep up with the Joneses, that's when you get yourself up the creek financially. You go into debt that you can't get out of. And you start spiraling, right? Once you get into debt, oftentimes it turns into a black hole. It gets worse and worse and worse. It's very, very difficult to extricate yourself from debt, especially once you're married and you have a family, when your expenses rise. Not simple. So why get there in the first place? Okay? You matter, do good things, help society. That's what's most important. And do it because it's the right thing to do, not because somebody's going to give you a heart or a like. You've been tuning in to the Aaron Katsman Show. We speak to your life, your money, and your investments. If you like this content, please hit the like button below. If you've not yet done so, why don't you go ahead and please subscribe to both the YouTube channel and to the podcast. And if you think somebody may find this of some interest, why don't you go ahead and click the share button and you can share it with them as well. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll speak to you soon.